After 4 long weeks, Fortnite has finally been updated, and with the season nearly over, you won't believe who's coming back for Season 4. But first, I'm gifting my subscribers skins every single day. It's as simple as dropping a like on the video and leaving your epic ID down below. And as always, remember to pop in code MMCS in the Fortnite Item Shop. With Season 4 just around the corner, you won't believe who Fortnite are teasing the return of. But first, the main focus of this season has been to help Dr. Sloan and the Luminaries get the telescope up and running. This apparatus has the ability to change reality that it's focusing on. And in the last video, we found out that Geno has plans to melt the ice and has hired Nia to spy on the Luminaries to see what they get up to. But this is where everything changes. After the recent Fortnite update, we have special dialogue with a brand new NPC on the island. Someone who's very important, and she has a secret message to tell us. So first, we need to jump in game as the Dr. Sloan skin and speak to Era, a Battle Pass skin who has had no involvement in the storyline this season, but that's up until now. She has special dialogue that reveals a ton of information about the apparatus. So if we jump in game here, find our way over to Era, she's located at the top of Shady Splits, a place not many people land. Era is here, as her description says, to protect the island. She's sworn by it. She's studying her ancestors' memories to help the explorers understand the mysteries of this jungle. And this is where it gets interesting, because if you approach her as Dr. Sloan, she has special dialogue and says, "Do you understand what dangers you're playing with?" And obviously, she's talking about the dangers of using the apparatus. Whilst on the topic of Dr. Sloan, her NPC has now moved after this update too. And instead of hanging around her hideout in the middle of the jungle where the tank is, where she's spent the majority of this season, she's now inside the ruins, studying the glyphs on the walls which have now been revealed. For the majority of this season, these glyphs have been hidden by the vines, and now, well, you can finally see how this apparatus works. Many of the characters this season are skeptical of Dr. Sloan and her plan, with many believing we can't trust her. With Era now revealing the dangers of the telescope too, it could be in the wrong hands. And that takes us on to the telescope, because we can now fully complete the build with the help of the Luminaries. But while Dr. Sloan is downstairs figuring out how to power it up, we've already got our first look at what this telescope will be doing. You've got to see this. So we're now able to finish the apparatus quest. We've just got to find the last kinetic prism, and if we take it to Trace at the top, he says that they've been working with Dr. Sloan to get them installed in the apparatus. Obviously, he's talking about the kinetic prisms, and that if Dr. Sloan's theory is correct, things are about to get real interesting. So check this out. Over the next few weeks, this apparatus will be projecting an astral map of a constellation in the sky, which leads to the moon in the center. Remember, at the beginning of the season, Optimus Prime told us that the answers that we seek lie deep within the starless void that brought us here. But with Dr. Sloan being in control of it all, and what happened after the Collision Live event, I think she definitely wants revenge. This can only be bad for us. And while everybody's been focused on that, no one has noticed the Season 4 secret Fortnite is hiding on the island right now. But before we take a look at that, very few have noticed that something secret gets said during the Coral Buddies quests that hint towards the future of Fortnite. As you should know, the ice has been melting all season, with the potential that it may flood the jungle biome. And in the last video, we spoke about the Kraken that could be seen frozen in this ice, as seen by the leaked Chapter 4 ice biome artwork. But things have just ramped up a notch, because pointed out by some of you guys, Princess Brine, an NPC on the island, now speaks about this Kraken. So I've completed the previous quest to get to this point, and now if we jump in game and speak to her, she's located west of the island in a pretty remote location. And if we now talk to her as part of the next quest, she says, oh my god, she actually mentions the Kraken. I thought you guys were joking. Now, the way she talks about it is that it's described as though it's some sort of god from the world that she's from. I mean, it's even capitalized. But the problem lies with all the ice melting, because supposedly there's an underworld like the jungle under this island. People have speculated that Coral Castle is underneath there and all sorts, so keep your eyes peeled, because this is now the second time a Kraken has been mentioned. And now finally, probably the biggest secret from this update has to do with Fortnite bringing back one of our favourite collabs ever, that being the Marvel season. Right now, in-game after this update, Fortnite have added some secret files on a table in Creaky Compound, and after 3 whole whole years, it looks like we could be getting another Marvel season. This is the only location on the whole island you'll find this new item, and it's just inside the new site just outside Creepy Compound that's just been added in game as the Luminaries have expanded their bases. Next time you jump in game, you're gonna want to land here, because inside, Fortnite have left us a few teasers as to what could be happening next season. It's already been leaked last season that there's a new Fortnite times Marvel comic in the works coming out this summer. This has only happened the last time we had a dedicated Marvel season, and it helped us follow along with the storyline at the time. On top of that, at the end of last season, Iron Man's repulsor gauntlets also got updated in the files after 3 whole years. They were only obtainable when defeating Iron Man at Stark Industries, and they enabled you to shoot lasers out of your hands. Stark Industries was awesome and was the main home of Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. It had a crazy amount of detail, and he even had his own room full of his different outfits. So what have Fortnite added in this update that makes us believe another Marvel collab is on the way? Well, if we jump in game here, we're heading slightly northwest of Creepy Compound, because you'll find, like I said, this new base built by the Luminaries as they work out and discover more about the island. I mean, at first it doesn't look like much, just a few new buildings that have popped up. A lot of you won't even bother to go inside. I mean, there's not much loot around here, so why would you? But what we're after is inside this center building. If you head on inside this cabin, you'll notice there's not much in here and probably just run straight out again. But head on over to the desk, because there you go. Files on the table that at first you might just glance over and not notice anything, but take a closer look. They have the Stark Industries logo printed on the front. As you can see, this logo is quite blurry, but it is indeed the Stark Industries logo. This is quite possibly our biggest teaser yet, that next season will either be another Marvel collab season, or it's hinting that Stark Industries as a point of interest will be returning. I mean, these files can't be found anywhere else on the island. This is the only place. And if you thought that was it, oh no. Not only are there some Marvel files in this container, but randomly in the container built next to it, if you head on up upstairs, there is a secret something found on the table. That's right, a filming camera. Again, a random prop Fortnite have added is a camera that they use to record these movies with. And to top it off, Donald Mustard, the creative director of Fortnite, is a huge fan of Marvel and has said Marvel will play a huge part in the future of Fortnite. Now, I don't know about you, but the Marvel collab season was awesome, and I'm pretty sure many people would love to see it happen again. Could it actually be happening in Season 4? If you guys enjoyed, remember, subscribe down below and be sure to check out this other video I've picked out especially for you up on screen here. I'll see you over there.